everyone. Welcome to Foster Women Live. I'm here today with Tara Funk, who is living an unfunked life. We're going to talk today a little bit about Tara and her story and what it means to live an unfunked life. So welcome, Tara. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for talking to me.
Yay. So the first question I always ask women that I interview on this little show of mine is to give me a quote that you feel defines you.
Okay, I think one of the big ones that defines me is you cannot change the direction of the wind, but you can adjust your sail.
Perfect. I think that totally defines you. So I would love for you to tell our listeners a little bit about your story because it is incredible. And I know that everybody that hears it just absolutely falls in love with you. So work your magic and give us your story.
Okay, so about 3 years ago, I was living my life as an editor at Scholastic, loving my job, loving my commuting into the city, my whole life. I have I have two beautiful children and an amazing husband. And basically what happened was I had an aortic dissection. Doctors have no idea why that happened. But what happens is my aorta, which is the major artery that brings blood away from your heart and around the rest of your body, mine dissected or split inside my chest and filled my body cavity with blood. And all of the loss of blood caused a quote unquote shower of strokes, which means I didn't just have one stroke, but I had many strokes all over my brain in different places that affect basically all of my functioning. So after being in a coma for about 3 weeks, a not medically induced coma, this was a coma that my body went into, I woke up from the coma and needed to then go to rehab for a month where I learned how to talk, I learned how to walk, I learned how to dress myself, feed myself, create all of my basic life functions all over again.
At the age of 39.
At the age of 39 and a half.
Right.
6 months before my 40th birthday to the day, which was ironic in and of itself because I couldn't wait to turn 40.
Right. And now 3 years later, I find that it's amazing how you have taken that situation and really flipped it on its head. And we've been talking lately about what to call this way that you live. And so we've decided to call it Tara Funk, living an unfunked life. Mm-hmm. And tell us what that's like. Tell us what it's like to be living like that.
Honestly, it's a change because I used to be the kind of person who was impatient on the grocery store line when people took too long. That was me. That was the person who was tapping their foot and not necessarily letting people know that it was annoying, but I was annoyed. And now I am that person. So I needed to find within myself patience, and I needed to find courage, and I needed to find acceptance and love and figure out the different things that I could do to make my life more pleasant for me, but also for everybody else around me. So I like to look at whatever my challenges are and then figure out how to flip them around to become opportunities. Right. And one of the big things that I did at the beginning was figure out that if something is a challenge for me, that's going to make me want to conquer it even more. Right. It's a challenge for a reason. It's a lesson to be learned. And that's what I do. I walk around every day looking for the things that frustrate me. And rather than getting upset about them and living in that funky place, in that funk of unhappiness, right, I flip it around and I make it an opportunity to grow and learn something new and try something new and figure out a new way to do things.
Right. You're amazing.
Thank you.
I need you to tell the laces story.
Okay.
It is my favorite, and it just truly defines what it means to kind of step outside your situation and say, you know what, I choose happy. And I love that. I love when you said that to me initially, like, I choose to be happy, and this is the way I'm going to live moving forward. So tell us about your shoe story.
Shoes. Okay, so you probably don't think about this because most people don't.
Right.
But tying shoelaces, unless you're teaching a child, you don't understand that it's a process that
Right.
you go through and it's automatic. You don't even think about it. You just do
Absolutely.
it. It's been one of those things you've done for so long and you don't need to think about it. I need to think about it. Not only did I need to think about it, I had a really hard time. I spent a lot of probably about hours. I don't know how many, but so many moments where I felt so defeated with this thing that I used to be able to do so easily and couldn't do anymore. And then I just decided, you know what? There are plenty of shoes out there that don't require laces tied.
Absolutely.
You don't have to tie your laces.
Absolutely.
Or you find shoes that you have the laces tied and you can slip your feet into them.
Right, like the ones you're wearing today.
Right, like the ones I'm wearing today. So the truth is there's always some way to figure out how to live with whatever challenges you have and not let them bring you down, but see them as just be grateful that you have them, that you're here to experience them.
Right. And those little things we take for granted, right?
Completely.
It's those, right, it takes me about 10 seconds, not even, to tie a shoe.
Right.
But it's funny because having little kids, we do understand the frustration level that they go through during that.
But we're so far removed from it
Right.
that we can't, even when they're trying to do it, a lot of times we as parents will take over.
Right.
And I find a lot of people out of goodness and out of love want to take over and they want to help me.
Right.
And I understand that. And I send those people all the time love because they're in a different place and I understand where it comes from.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of times I don't accept that. I need to learn how to do those things. And the more I try, the more I do them, the better off I'm going to be. And I see them as I'm just grateful to be able to be here, to take 5 minutes to zip my jacket or to find shoes that I can just slip on my feet. I'm more grateful for those opportunities than frustrated by them.
Right.
And I think everybody can see that in their lives on a daily basis.
Absolutely. And so I know that each year you pick a word, right? To
gifts.
A gift.
I give myself gifts.
Right.
Different traits that I want to work on.
Right. And this year
it is love and acceptance. Love for myself and acceptance of myself and acceptance of my situation and acceptance of other people as well.
Right.
And love, self-love is, and I've heard this is not a new idea,
right?
But self-love is one of the most important gifts that we can give ourselves because it trickles down in so many ways.
Absolutely. If you don't love yourself, how can you love anybody else?
Right.
Yeah. So awesome. Thank you so much, Tara, for
Thank
sharing
you
your
so
story with
much.
us. I hope you are all feeling as inspired by this woman as I am. And I look forward to seeing what's next for you on this journey.
Me as well. And thank you for
You're
all
welcome.
that you do for
You're
me
welcome.
and for all these women.
Thank you, Tara. Bye, everybody. Have a great day.
Bye.
That was awesome.
You think?
I think it was really good.